for public discussion and comments on agenda items. But nobody has signed up. Would anybody like to speak about agenda items? Please state your name.
Hello, my name is Mark Levinstein, and I'm a parent, and I live in Newburgh BOE. So, as a parent, I am in support of the proposed enhancement to student attendance policy 5100 being put forth tonight. The adding of additional time to correct data entry errors just makes sense. What was once considered unimportant, the correct designation of missed classes is extremely important today for the students. Teachers and staff have more important things to do than being pestered by students and parents for 4.5 days, making sure unintended mistakes are correct. So I'm just hoping that that passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to address the board on agenda items? If not, we're going to move on to, let's see, to our superintendent of schools, Dr. Padilla.
Thank you, Madam President, and good evening, everyone. See everyone on one side of the room, and then there's Mr. Levinstein.
I don't like this next one.
That's all right. You got Cootie or something? I see someone else over there. How you doing? I have one item tonight. It's 3.1. It's a student recognition, and I'm going to ask one of our amazing teachers to come up, Ms. Oberle, to share with the board this very special recognition.
Good evening, Dr. Padilla, District Administration, and Board of Education members. Thank you so much for allowing us time in your meeting so that we can recognize and congratulate our science research student, Stephanie Alvarado. Stephanie is a senior in our science research program, and in January, she was selected to present her research at the 19th Annual Junior Science and Humanities Symposium, a competition that we know of as JSHS. So, seniors who applied to this competition, which is a prestigious competition, applied back in December, and they were not guaranteed a selected spot. This year, 111 science research students from schools all in the eastern section of New York submitted their research papers for only 80 spots. Therefore, all students who were selected represented the top science research students in all of eastern New York. So Stephanie deserves recognition for her, an honor for her accomplishment in representing our district and for her hard work in achieving this status as being recognized as one of the top level science research students. Right now, Stephanie will summarize her research for us, and then I will present her with a certificate for her participation in JSHS. For her complete PowerPoint presentation of her research, mark your calendars now, because our Science Research Symposium, our 8th Annual Science Research Symposium, will be on Thursday, April 30th at NFA North. And right now, Stephanie will just be briefly discussing her research with you, but on the 30th at our symposium, it will be a full-blown presentation. So thank you so much for your support. And now, Stephanie.
Good evening. My name is Stephanie Alvarado, and my research topic is the effectiveness of urban fused oils versus chemical cleaning products on bacteria reduction. A little long, yes, I know. So, to summarize the focus of my experiment was to see whether herbal oils would show a reduced amount of bacteria compared to commercial cleaners. And when analyzing my experiment, I had realized that the herbal oils and commercial cleaners both showed increase in growth of bacteria. So when discovering this analysis, I realized that more testing is needed. So yeah, that's more or less a summary of my research. Thank you for your time.
So you heard her loud and clear, April 30th at NFA North. Madam President, that concludes my items for this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Padilla. We're going to move on to my section, which now says my section. We have 4.1, the resolution to adopt policies on the first reading. That's 0115, student bullying prevention and intervention. 9701, professional learning opportunities. 4323, career and technical education. 1741, homeschool, and 5100, comprehensive school attendance. In addition, we're removing number 2425, physical education, and 3244, professional learning opportunities, and 2421, occupational education. I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
Questions or discussion? Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Ms. Maida?
Yes.
Ms. Maneo?
Yes.
Ms. Prokop?
Yes.
Ms. Santiago?
Yes.
Mr. Stritter?
Yes.
Ms. Burke?
Yes.
Dr. Henderson?
Yes.
Thank you. We're going to move on to board committees. Policy Committee, Mr. Howard.
Everything we just voted on, Madam President.
I took your thunder, I'm so sorry.
The policy committee, everything we just voted.
Thank you. Library Committee, Mr. Stritter.
We had last week and we discussed the village performance contract, the census and curriculum update, library space redesign RFP, Girls Code Club, and request from the public for a library presence in Windsor. One of the biggest items we discussed was the getting ready for the Harriet Tubman statue that's going to be coming into the district in October. And it's going to be here, I believe, for 2 months. And there's some educational presentations around that date, so clear your calendar for October as well.
Thank you. We're going to do personnel and buildings and grounds, Ms. Broca.
Yes, everything that's on the agenda tonight was discussed at personnel on last week, including corporate school, my brother's keepers, spring coaching positions, quarterly recovery, the MOA union, and the unified sports, which I'm very happy about. On building and grounds, we discussed the ordering of and money for the playground equipment at Windsor, also the insurance inspections that were taking place, and the fire inspections that are taking place. I think they're done now, Mr.
We'll be done next week, Tuesday, with the inspection.
With the fire inspection. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to move on to our Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum, Mrs. Moriarty.
Thank you, Madam President. Elementary Curriculum and Instruction presents items 6.1 through 6.3 for your consideration.
Thank you. Would any member like to separate out any of these items? Maybe somebody outside. I'd like to entertain a motion, please. Questions or discussion? Roll call, Mr. Clark.
Ms. Maida,
Yes.
Ms. Beneo,
Yes.
Ms. Prokop,
Yes.
Ms. Santiago,
Yes.
Mr. Stridiron,
Yes.
Ms. Burton,
Yes.
Dr. Henderson,
Yes.
Mr. Howard.
Thank you, Madam President. That concludes my items.
Thank you, Mrs. Moriarty. We're going to move on to our Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum Secondary, Dr. Spindler.
Thank you, Madam President. We present to you items 7.1 through 7.2 as a consent agenda.
Would any member like to separate out any of these items? I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
Questions or discussion? Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Ms. Beneo,
Yeah.
Ms. Prokop,
Yes.
Ms. Santiago,
Yes.
Mr. Stridiron,
Yes.
Ms. Burton,
Yes.
Dr. Henderson, Mr. Howard, Ms. Maida.
That concludes my items this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Spindler. We're going to move on to our Assistant Superintendent of Exceptional Learners, Mr. Bear.
Good evening, Madam President. Exceptional Learners is presenting one item for your consideration, the recommendations from the CAC and CPSU committees.
I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or discussion? Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Ms. Prokop,
Yes.
Ms. Santiago,
Yes.
Mr. Stridiron,
Yes.
Ms. Burton,
Yes.
Dr. Henderson, Mr. Howard,
Yes.
Ms. Maida,
Yes.
Ms. Beneo.
Yes.
Thank you. That concludes my items.
Thank you, Mr. Bear. We're going to move on to our Assistant Superintendent of Finance, Mr. Assay.
Thank you, Madam President. Finance present 3 consent items for your consideration.
Would any member like to separate out any of these items? I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Questions or discussion? Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Ms. Santiago, Mr. Stridiron,
Yes.
Ms. Burton,
Yes.
Dr. Henderson,
Yes.
Mr. Howard,
Yes.
Ms. Maida,
Yes.
Ms. Beneo,
Yes.
Ms. Prokop.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam President. That will conclude my items.
Thank you, Mr. Assay. We're going to move on to our Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Mr. McElroy.
Thank you, Madam President. On the Human Resources agenda, consent agenda, I have items 10.1 through 10.14 for your consideration.
Would any member like to separate out any of these items? Yes, ma'am?
Yes, under, I'd like to separate under 10.1, H1, please.
Okay. Anybody else separate out anything else? I'd like to entertain a motion on everything except for 10.1H1.
So moved.
Thank you. Questions or discussion? Yes, sir.
On item 10.3, the 4 part-time clerks, attendance callers, is that work still going to take place? We're going to call the parents if the students don't come to school?
That is correct. We replace those positions with full-time.
Any other questions or comments? Roll call on everything but 10.1H1.
Mr. Stridiron,
Yes.
Ms. Burton,
Yes.
Dr. Henderson,
Yes.
Mr. Howard,
Yes.
Ms. Maida,
Yes.
Ms. Beneo,
Yes.
Ms. Prokop,
Yes.
Ms. Santiago.
Yes.
Let's go back to 10.1H1. I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Second.
Ms. Prakash.
Yes, I'd like to table H1 under 10.
Okay. I need a second to table.
Second.
Roll call to table, please.
Ms. Burton,
Yes.
Dr. Henderson,
Yes.
Mr. Howard, Ms. Maida,
Yes.
Ms. Beneo,
Yes,
Ms. Prokop,
Yes.
Ms. Santiago,
Yes.
Mr. Stridiron.
Yes.
that item is tabled.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Madam President. That concludes my items.
Thank you, Mr. McLemore. We're going to move on to the clerk of the board, Mr. McCoy.
Thank you, Madam President. Have your approval of the minutes from the February 11, 2020 meeting.
I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or discussion? Roll call.
Dr. Henderson,
Yes.
Mr. Howard,
Yes.
Ms. Maida,
Yes.
Ms. Beneo,
Yes.
Ms. Prokop,
Yes.
Ms. Santiago,
Yes.
Mr. Stridiron,
Yes.
Ms. Burton.
If you're interested in running for the board, potential candidates, packets of information are available in my office. The current people that are up, terms expire this year on June 30th, are held currently by Ms. Beneo, Mr. Walker, and Mr. Stridiron. If you're interested in running for the board, you have to get at least 100 signatures from the qualified voters of the school district, and those petitions would need to be back in the clerk's office by 20 days before the election, which this year is Wednesday, the 29th of April, by 5 o'clock. Madam President, I need to add an item to the agenda.
Would you like to read it, please?
Be it resolved that the board clerk is hereby authorized to issue the decision of the board as determined at this meeting regarding the education law section 3214 proceeding incident number 2020-4035.
I'd like a motion to add this to the agenda, please. Roll call to add.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Ms. Maida?
Yes.
Ms. Mineo?
Yes.
Ms. Prokop? Ms. Santiago?
Yes.
Mr. Stridiron?
Yes.
Ms. Burton?
Yes.
Dr. Henderson?
Yes.
I'd like to entertain a motion, please. Questions or discussion on that item? Roll call.
Ms. Maida?
Yes.
Ms. Mineo?
Yes.
Ms. Prokop?
Yes.
Ms. Santiago?
Yes.
Mr. Stridiron?
Yes.
Ms. Burton?
Yes.
Dr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
That concludes my items, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. McCoy. We're now at the portion of the agenda for public discussion on non-agenda items. Please refer to the procedure sheet next to the sign-in sheet. We have no one signed up. Would anybody like to speak on non-agenda items? Okay.
Thank you, Bob Cologne in Windsor. I'd like to thank the board for the workshop that it presented this afternoon in conjunction with the administration. Unfortunately, it wasn't seen by much of the public other than a couple of us. It does provide us with insight as to how this board, this district, goes about now systematically looking for best practices for all of our students, and I would encourage you to continue such practices. I think the workshop idea to initiate as well as to follow through with the direction this district is taking, with extended discussions and back and forth among the board members, is going to be fruitful for all of us in order to best understand how decisions are made, and to also inform the public as to what they can do to also lend their assistance to such efforts. Thank you.
Would anybody else like to address the board on non-agenda items? If not, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn, please. Roll call.
Ms. Mineo?
Yes.
Ms. Prokop? Ms. Santiago?
Yes.
Mr. Stridiron? Ms. Burton? Dr. Henderson? Mr. Howard? Ms. Maida?
Thank you. See you in 2 weeks.